Okay, welcome to video 2. Let's do this business on the Grand Cross and the ingresses and retrogrades. In some ways, after I talk about the Grand Cross, then we're going to talk, when I get to, I'm going to talk about the retrogrades that are continuing. Mars, Pluto, and Saturn. And then I'm going to talk about Mercury into Taurus and then Gemini. And then I'm going to talk about Venus. And in some ways, Venus into Aries brings up all this stuff about the Grand Cross. So it's going to be a really interesting month for whatever themes are coming up about the Grand Cross. So let's start there, and then we'll kind of weave this whole story. I'm excited about this one because I like telling stories. So the Cardinal Grand Cross is close as it's going to get. So it doesn't come down to the minute. It comes down to like 10 or 12 minutes of orb, a fifth or sixth of a degree or something, within about 13.5 degrees of the cardinal signs. So you know this, but Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, all 4 cardinal signs, they are about doing. As I've said in previous months, and also in the previous video, squares are like tectonic plates pushing in opposite different directions. They're like, like I'm going this way and you're going this way, and like we stop each other, and then we have to figure out what happens, and the tension builds, and then something slips. If we're not paying attention right now, if we're not intentional, something is trying to slip and might. So Jupiter in Cancer, my emotional reactivity, how I feel, how much faith I have in the importance of emotion and feeling and sensing. Do I have faith that I'm safe, right? Uranus in Aries, am I free? All 4 of these are having one conversation. Sorry, blocking the thing. Sorry, all 4 of these planets are in one conversation, and so Uranus and Aries part of it is, are you free? Do you feel free? Are you instinctive? Are you saying no to things? And it's a lot, the tension that comes up with the Jupiter in Cancer is, I'm not sure if I really have the right to feel this or express this. The tension with Uranus and Aries is, I'm not free and I'm pissed about it, I'm angry, or something like that. I need to be alone. That will be if Uranus is the loudest voice out of this Grand Cross for you, because we may have different emphases based on what's being hit in our charts and how we're wired natally. Uranus is a big part of it for me because I have Uranus in the first house natally. So Uranus is a big part of it. So are you free, and how mad are you that you're not free? And then we have Pluto in Capricorn. Who's in charge of your life? And then we have the Mars retrograding in Libra. Again, this Mars retrograde is still in play. So the tension is building. Mars, is the one that's moving back into this Grand Cross. And so it's kind of the one who's sneaking in from the side and how do you say this? Like instigating with all these other planets. It's kind of like the troublemaker is what it will seem like. And that is in Libra, retrograding in Libra. Why can't I get what I want from you? Or why are you always trying to get this from me? Kind of like this thing about give and take. And the Mars and Libra retrograding, opposing the Uranus and Aries, both of those can be like, maybe I'd rather just do this on my own. Or I can't really deal with the influence or input, the energies of other people. And that's kind of what that's about. And then you have the opposition between the Pluto in Capricorn and Jupiter in Cancer. Should I be practical? Or should I be a real person? Should I feel? Or should I just be rule-based? Should I just be practical and worry about rules? So there's that tension too, and then all 4 planets are squaring each other. So you may, in a given day, have multiple, how do you say this? If you're watching the conversation that's unfolding in your head about whatever is stressing you out right now, if something is, I know I probably seem like I'm crazy because it's like really activating my whole chart, but you may be a little more level-headed. That's great. I love you for it. But whatever it is that seems full of tension or needs attention to change, or you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can let that go on for another day, whatever that may be, whatever that tension is, if you're watching the conversation within your head, you may actually many, many times a day catch yourself being the Pluto in Capricorn. There has to somebody should do something about this, or being the Mars in Libra. I hate it when she does that. Or being the Uranus in Aries, I can't stand this, it has to stop. Or being the Jupiter in Cancer, I have the right to feel what I'm feeling. You know, so that you may be cycling through all these, and again, depending on what is happening in your own chart, it will, it will matter. But so that is happening in about the 13.5 degrees exact on the 22nd. At least I think it's like afternoon Pacific time. So those of you who are in Europe, maybe bedtime, maybe later. But that is happening, and I encourage you to take deep breaths. I encourage you to listen to the parts of you that are speaking. I really want you to honor what is unfolding within you, what the tension is, but let the tension tell you something. I think it's really easy, it's almost seductive to just be upset about something when we are upset. But I want you to stay grounded and to really pay attention to what is being said and why. And those of you who have done readings with me or coaching with me or listened to enough of these kinds of videos, you'll know that when it comes to parts of us that get stressed or tense or unhappy about something or impatient, I encourage hearing them, which means letting them have a voice. But knowing that you don't have to act from those places. You don't have to be impulsive. You don't have to be idiotic. You don't have to fly off the handle. You don't have to be angry. But you don't have to respond. You don't have to, how do you say this, like make an imprint on the world. You don't have to affect the world and create the world around you through that energy. But you have to hear it before you can resolve it. That's just my experience, and I notice it in people. The more that they try to be nice and they put their anger away and they don't say no to things, and they don't acknowledge their feelings, that eventually, something happens and they find themselves, well, I have the right to be angry, and they're kind of indignant about it. They're kind of righteous. Well, give yourself permission to be upset about something or to be frustrated or be angry. But be grounded. If you have a stone, use it, send cords, and if you don't, send cords into the earth and know that you're safe. Breathe the energy. This is a great Taurus exercise in general, but breathe the energy of the earth up into your body to help slow things down. So this is exact on the 22nd as much as it's going to be. And then it's going to start to dissipate, but it's not like something comes up and then it goes away. It's like it comes up and then you're reacting, you're having feelings, you're having an experience. So that will still be there. So even in the following days, it doesn't go up and then down. It goes up and then you're like, wait, why do I feel this? What am I supposed to do? And the planets themselves will begin to inch away, but 3 of these are outer planets. But you're going to still be with this, I can't ignore this feeling. So that's why I'm saying become aware of it so that you can more easily latch onto or figure out a solution to the problem at hand, the apparent problem at hand. Now, I say that because the apparent problem, there may be a problem behind it. Now, if you are always borrowing money from me, maybe right now I'm mad about it. I may think it's about you. That's the apparent problem. The real problem is I'm willing to give you money. So I want you to kind of read between the lines and look into things and look at how you can possibly make a different choice in order to change an outcome. Because what it looks like it's really about you. It's really about how you have allowed a situation to unfold or how you have allowed something to blossom, and then you're looking at the blossom and you're like, I hate this. It's how your choices are working. So I'm going to encourage you, without looking at your charts or your data, I'm going to encourage you, if you can call into the subscriber call, which will be the second Saturday of May, if you can do that, that's great. I'll be happy to answer generalized or generic questions about this. How to look through something, how to see an apparent situation, and then understand what is underneath it. In all the work I do, I've done this. So if you're coaching with me or you've had readings with me or taken classes, you've gotten some perspective on that. But the apparent situation is very often not the real situation because we are generating everything. Everything in the world around us is a manifestation of what we're vibrating, what we're creating. So we manifest these situations to teach us what we need to see about ourselves. So anyway, I encourage you to read between the lines with this Grand Cross because it's intense stuff. It's intense stuff. So, moving on. Mars retrograde continues. It stations direct at May 20th at 9 Libra, which is at the end of the solar month. So I'll give you a little bit right now just to understand as it stations direct, but the real thing about it moving direct will be in the next month, kind of that now what do we do?